Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for when you come to them. For the tarot portion, I'm going to use the Idyllis Tarot, which is a smaller deck, but it's easy to shuffle, and I like the images on it. It is an Omnido. That's the creator, Omnido. There's this information with the what do we call it? My brain is not telling me what that's called, but put your camera thing on that or push that button, however that works, and you can find it. There's also the information there. I believe that they're just on Instagram. I found this deck on Amazon, I want to say. So if you're interested, go ahead and check that out. The Oracle cards I'm going to use for this one is the Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. The website, where is Sandra's website? I want to say she has her own website, but here's the Hay House website on the bottom, just below her picture. And I thought she had her own, maybe I'm mistaken. But I thought there was more websites. Maybe not. Oh, there they are. A bunch of Hay House websites. There they are, at the bottom. Okay, and last but not least, the dice I use a 21-sided dice for the major arcana, which does omit the Fool, but I make it work. And I believe that one is from this website, Tom Anders, and there's the information there if it focuses. If it's easier, here's another one of those. My brain cannot remember what you call that thing, but there it is. For the minor arcana, I use a 14-sided dice to choose the actual card, and then a 4-sided dice to choose the element. And the 14-sided dice came from here. I've had the 4-sided dice for the longest time. I couldn't tell you where they came from. I want to say it was Math Art Fun. Can't really see it here. Hopefully you can see it. mathartfun.com. All right, and that's what we have for that. Of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much, and let's go on to your read. Hello, Cancer. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid from whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Cancer? First thought I got was something needs to be said. So we'll see where that's going to go. That's all I got, really. Something needs to be said. This environmental factor thing here. This is going to be a curious one. I can already see it. So let's see what we got going on. Whatever the situation is, it's not the worst, but it's not the best. It's kind of like... Okay, so if you have in-laws, this is like being invited to an in-law's house and you don't really care. It's almost like I don't really care for the in-law, or you like the in-law, you don't like the person you're related to. One of the two. Or something like that, where it's like, there's enough good here that I want to go, but there's part of this that I'm like, that just one piece will never be right. Something like that. It almost feels like that. Or it's like if you have a friend, and you love your friend, but something about where they're living or who they live with or something, it's like, I love seeing my friend, I just can do without some of this other things around them. Something like that. It kind of feels like that. And it's something where... once in a while, maybe you kind of think, maybe this isn't going to last forever, maybe this will go better, maybe it's not that big of a deal. It does seem to play on your thoughts a lot. When I get the 7 of Cups with this, it does seem to put a lot of play on your thoughts a lot. And sometimes you wonder what's really going on there. Why is this really happening this way? How is this really going? For what I see, it's like some of this doesn't make sense how it plays out. Like, they make it look like everything's all nice and pretty, but when you see how things actually play out, something doesn't add up here. This situation, like, it went from being really good to being what it is now really fast. There was a really fast change here too. So like, wherever the situation used to be for you, there used to be a really good part, and then it's like it changed really fast when it did change. So in case that helps you like hone in on what this is about. Is there something else we want to talk about from that part? I didn't like the choice when it came in. I didn't really think I had anything I could do about it. I was hoping it wouldn't last. I thought here today, gone tomorrow, but no, it stayed. Whenever it came in, it stayed. I'm not willing to give up my connections, though, is what I keep getting. Whatever this is about, you're not willing to give up your connections, and I feel like there's something that needs to be said, and you're about to say it. If Cancer needs to say something, it's probably been there for a while. I feel like something needs to be said. I keep getting something needs to be said with that Knight of Swords and with the High Priestess. Like, I feel like maybe you're not even planning on saying something, but when push comes to shove, I feel like you will, and you're about to say what you need to say. It's been a long time coming, and I don't feel like your opinion is... I feel like you don't share it directly, but I feel like people know how you feel, though. Basically know how you feel. People have been speculating, people have been wondering, and people have been thinking sooner or later you were going to say something. There's been a lot of speculation around the situation, and I also get like, this is something where I just got to tell the truth about how I feel and what I'm looking at here and what I really think is going on and how I think the situation could go differently. I feel like there's something here you just don't care for. I know that card's smaller, so I'm going to get it closer in case you want to see it. So, you're saying what you need to say. It's very interesting to me because the timing is right. I don't know if you're going to feel that way about it, but the timing is right for you to say what you need to say. There it goes. Is it going right off the table? There we go. All right. You're calling out somebody else's bad behavior is what I think is going on. And something that's been going on for a while. Somebody who's making decisions that are for more selfish reasons. And when you bring it forward, it creates a change in the situation. It really does. What is this situation? That's a good question. It's creating a change. You're calling out somebody who's not being honest, is what I'm also getting. And it's when you're saying what you're saying, it is changing everything. Now, I don't know how you're going to get there because it's a very odd general read in my opinion. But you're ending up in the Sun card in the sense of like what you're saying, I feel like you're not backing down from. Not that you should. And it is changing your connection with this situation as a whole. Things are being realigned, redistributed, dare I say. And can we get like more about that? It's very awkward to me because it's like, it's just kind of playing out and it's like I had to say what I've been thinking and I finally got it off my chest. I feel like I feel better that I got it off my chest. And yeah, things take a minute to change. It doesn't happen overnight. It probably takes a couple months. But once it starts changing, after a couple months, I feel like the new process of what's going on, the new way things are handled, you seem to feel a lot better with. The thing is, once you get to that point, it's kind of like, all right, I like where they are now. I think things are better. It's not in your best interest to just try to go back to not saying anything again. Because I feel like you're going to have that knee-jerk reaction like, okay, things have changed. I like them better where they are. I'm going to go back to not saying anything. Or I'm going to go back to playing it the way it was. Or whatever it was that you felt you needed to do. I feel like you might go back to playing it that way again. They're saying that's not going to help this situation. Because there's something going on here that needs to be kind of like shaken up a little bit. The Hierophant is open to change, but very slow and it's like, we'll try this one piece at a time. Slow and sure wins the race, and we got to see, does it actually work better than what we used to do? There is an energy here that will change over time, but it needs slow and steady. And there's something here with like the foundation of the situation. Whoever you're dealing with, this is a way of life for them. I know it says career, this could be a work-related situation, but in general read terms, it's talking about something about how somebody lives life and how they feel like their life should be lived. So there's like long-term decisions being made here. So if you keep speaking your piece, I mean, I don't think you have to do it constantly, but like when something pops up and you don't feel good about it and you don't like it, if you don't hold your tongue and you let that be known, I feel like you'll be a lot happier, ironically. You'll be more at peace. But it's also like, it's hard because people aren't going to like hearing the truth that you're seeing. And it's going to change things. I feel like you got to be careful of how much and how you say it. I feel weird that I'm saying that because the devil's showing up saying you need to say your piece, but I feel like you're not going to say it constantly. It's kind of like picking your battles, but like I don't like that and I know that's not right and it's going to keep happening. So it's kind of like, when people don't, for example, if you had a dog and people aren't being careful when they're letting the dog out or when they're walking in and out the door, so it's kind of like I need to say something about this because people are going to let my dog out and something's going to happen that I don't like. So it's kind of like I have to say something, I have to change how things are handled. I'll be like, all right, unless I'm home, don't let the dog in the kitchen because people let the dog out, stuff like that. Four of Cups and then the Lover's card reversed. When you really don't like something, you should say something. And when it makes you it's kind of like this isn't right. This isn't how this should be done. Like I feel like I can give a better example. So, say you had grandchildren, just for argument's sake. It's just an analogy, and like you kept seeing that they were giving the kids like a half hour before dinner they would give them a chocolate bar or something, and you're like, oh, that's not good, that's going to ruin their appetite, but also it's like that's not really good calories to do that with. So it's kind of like saying something like, I understand you have to give them a snack, but can't you give them something that's more, not so destructive to their system? No, something's going to hype them up and drive them crazy. Something like that. I feel like I'm giving bad examples, but that devil card is throwing me off, to be fair. Because they're saying, go forward and say what you need to say. And I feel like they're saying, you know what you need to say. You know what you need to say, and you just need to put it out there. Because you create a balance. You created checks and balances for this situation where if somebody's being foolish or somebody's trying to get away with something, the fact that they know you're going to call it out, they don't even try after a while. Or at least, other people feel like they have somebody to back them up. Like, yeah, I didn't think that was right either. And Cancer's bringing that up. So I feel like, yeah, we should actually address this. Something like that. So I feel like that's a weird way to bring that forward. The fact that that devil card is coming up, that's very interesting. Now, it's going to take some more time for this to shape up in a better way. Whatever it is, it's going to be the way it is. The Six of Pentacles comes in with the Six of Wands. Okay. So these readings are valid for whenever you come to them, but there could be something about June, just to be fair. Could be. Or it could be in something in about 6 weeks, something like that. There's going to be a lot of success where you have to give and take. There's going to be some... After you've said your piece for a while, I feel like when you start realizing that it's having an effect, there's going to be some give and take to this for more success where, maybe you're careful what you're saying, but when something is really wrong, you say something. It goes back and forth because I feel like the more you give your opinion, the more they're going to give you their opinion on you. So keep that in mind too, because I think that's the Six of Pentacles. The farther this goes, I feel like if you're giving your opinion freely, I feel like whoever you're dealing with, they're going to start giving their opinion just as freely. And I feel like that could really balance this for you. It's kind of like, all right, fair is fair. You tell me what you think about my life, I'll tell you what I think about your life. It may actually make the bond a lot stronger. And I get that you're going to have a lot of success with this. It's ironic to me, but I feel like if this keeps going the way it goes, they're saying you're going to be very happy with it. Because it's kind of like when things aren't right, I feel like I can say something and things do kind of change. And, every now and then they call me out on some things they don't think I'm doing well. So I'm like, that's the balance. If I want them to listen to me, I have to listen to them. That's just the balance. And it feels like you're very open to that. Kind of like, all right, I'll listen. Because that's kind of the rub. If I listen to them, they listen to me. All right, that's how we're going to do it. I can do that. If that's how we need to do it, that's how we'll do it. I feel like this can go really, really, really well for you. that devil card keeps throwing me off. I'm going to just kind of update it one more time just to see if there's something I'm missing on it. The fact that it's there, and I'm like, okay. And they're saying that's the way to go. Things get stuck if you don't say what you need to say. Things don't move forward at all is what I'm getting. And by you saying what you want to say and kind of like letting down the guard or letting down whatever, just letting it go, letting it fly, you create change. Otherwise, the situation stagnates and it doesn't get as good as it could get. It could advance. It could get better. Are they always going to be pleasant conversations? Probably not, but I feel like the outcome you're really going to be happy with because at least it improves and it keeps improving and it goes better the way you think it should. So it's ironic. It is ironic in my opinion, but they're saying the more you say, the more you have your voice heard, the more you say what you need to say, the chance for things to get better, the more chance you have things to get better in this situation. So believe in your voice. Of course, you have complete control about how you say things and when you say things, of course. So keep that in mind, but they're saying make sure you share your opinion. Happiness is at stake here. That's a really pretty card in my opinion. So your happiness is at stake. And the happiness of other people too. You're very helpful to them. Are we good? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.